On February 15th, the Parliament of Nagorno-Karabakh unanimously adopted a draft law in its first reading on the occupied territories of Karabakh. One of the sponsors, the leader of the Armenian Revolutionary Federation parliamentary faction, Artur Mosyan, fronted the draft law. But what does the draft law consider occupied territories? It was revealed in yesterday's sitting of the State and Legal Affairs Committee that the area in question is 12,000 square meters and not the former territory of the Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast. However, what is the NKAO, Artsakh Republic, and Karabakh? All this nomenclature can be confusing. First off, Karabakh is a non-defined geographic area running from the mountains of the Lesser Caucasus all the way east to the Kura River and south to the Aras River. The Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast was created in 1923 within Soviet Azerbaijan. Its population was majority Armenian. As pogroms against Armenians raged in cities like Baku and Sumqayit out of fear of ethnic cleansing and genocide, it was this entity that, as the Soviet Union collapsed, declared independence, fueling the First Karabakh War. During the war, victorious Armenian forces consolidated control over what was the NKAO. In addition, several regions surrounding the oblast, which were majority Azerbaijani, came under Armenian control. Some regions of the NKAO were not taken over by Armenian forces and remain in Azerbaijan to this day. These include the Shaumian and Getashen regions, shown here in orange. When Mr. Mosyan was asked which territories were being referred to, he stipulated that the territories that were occupied as a result of Azerbaijani aggression in the early 90s, 2016 and 2020, according to him, the bill refers to all regions. But why is this problematic? Civil analyst Tigran Krikorian, himself from Karabakh, explained that the law should emphasize the restoration of what was once the former Nagorno-Karabakh Autonomous Oblast. In the 2020 war, Azerbaijani forces took several regions. On top of this, certain areas of what was once the NKAO too fell to Azerbaijan, including Shushi, the Hadrut region, Talish, Mataghis, and other places. In the end-of-war agreement, the former Azerbaijani surrounding regions were handed over to Azerbaijan. The draft law considers these areas occupied. Krikorian called on the authorities of the Artsakh Republic to refrain from populism and believes that the law in this form can weaken the negotiating position of the Armenian side. He said that granting the status of occupied territories outside the NKAO will never be adequately received by the international community. Moreover, by doing so, the authorities of Artsakh will create an impression of a frivolous player, and discussions on substantive issues with them will be considered pointless. Since the start of the Karabakh conflict in 1988, the NKAO was considered a single political entity by the international community and the Minsk Group mediators. All the peace plans that were presented to the parties since 1997 envisaged the return of the surrounding regions to Azerbaijan, with the exception of the Lachin corridor. According to Krikorian, Yerevan deprioritizing the Karabakh issue and Stepanakert adopting populist rhetoric only serves to hinder the Armenian side's negotiating position.